Hello, everyone, and I want to say big thank you to have this kind of very good opportunity to introduce my project to you guys. I mean, friends of River in the world. And my name is Yuta Itsumi, and I'm speaking from actually not in my research field, Okazaki, but I'm working in the Kyushu University in the very west side of Japan. And today I'd like to introduce my research. I mean, not just research, but the project in the Okazaki City. It's a very center of Japan. Today I would like to talk about how our activities in Okazaki developed from waterfront activation into a broader practice of the catchment stewardship. And, and also, I would like to talk about why, through that process, we decided to launch our kind of a community research lab. Okay, so let me begin by introducing who we are. I mean, what is a One River? So our team is called One River, and I just say why we call us a One River as a kind of a maybe next slide. But it is not a formal institution like a office or maybe NGO, NPO or something, but it is more like a freely voluntary organization. And maybe we can say it's more like a network or maybe civic platform made up of people with very different backgrounds. So from the beginning, One River is a very cross-sectional, and it brings together people who would not necessarily work together. This is a kind of a characteristic. And this One River is started from 2021, but lately, from 2024, we also launched the Community Research Lab with a very, very core management team of One River and some other members. He is a government officer and also the community building NPO organizer. And me, I'm a researcher. And so this kind of very interdisciplinary team. And today, so I will talk about two topics. So one is about One River. So I mean, what is One River and what we did, just a kind of a platform. And topic two is why we launched the research lab. So why we think it is necessary to launch. Okay, so firstly, I'd like to tell the story of our team, One River. So as I mentioned, we are working in Japan. So of course, I'm sure about that. I'm sure that you all know where the Japan is, but Japan is located in the monsoon climate region, so it is not like Europe. So it's more like a very kind of a strong nature's area, and so especially it's more like a hot and humid climate with seasonal rainfalls. So this is a very easy statistics. But here, Okazaki, Japan, that there are more than 100 millimeters per month in the very hot season, I mean summer. But Aswan, so maybe we will meet in Aswan, maybe that there are no rain more. And in Hanover, actually, I was studying in Hanover in 2023. So I know much about Germany, but there are more or less rain in the summer season. So it means we have a very so many floods and so many severe natural condition of rivers. This is where the Japan is. And I'd like to introduce one more characteristics of our river basin. And this is very simple, but our river basin is very small. So like a Mekong River or Rhine River, there are more like 100,000 square kilometers. But here, my river is located in this Yahagi River system, very central Japan. But this catchment area is very tiny, and so just 1,000 square kilometer. So this characteristic is very important because our urban area is very close to the ocean and also the mountain. So this is very compact catchment. So this is our also important characteristic, I think. So this is our kind of map of our site, and this black line shows the boundary of our municipality, Okazaki City, and this blue line shows the catchment area of River Otogawa. So you may found, but the most important characteristic of this case is catchment is contained within the city boundary. So very, very compact catchment, and everyone living in this catchment are kind of the same. The shares their kind of policies and their cultures. So this is a kind of a unique situation of my case, I think. And so river length is just 34 kilometers, so very small, I know. And discharge 4 cubic per second, so it's very small. But when flooding, the river can flow more than 1,000 cubic per second. So this is Japan, I said. So this is monsoon region characteristic. Okay. And one more important thing, one more important thing is this kind of a gradient of the population. So in this city, Okazaki City, there are 380,000 people are living. However, most of people, I mean more than 90% of people are living in downstream side. So here, there is a kind of a city center of this city, and the river is flows from the very upside or upstream of the mountain, and here and here and here, and then flows through the city center. This is a very important characteristic. Okay, so I would like to go on the more like a story, I mean the history. But as you may easily imagine, Otogawa has been a very, very important part of urbanization of Okazaki City Center. So the Otogawa has been tied to the history of urban development. And historically, the river kind of used as a navigation way. So this is downstream side, and this is upstream side. But ships comes from the ocean, from here and here. And here, there is a Okazaki Castle, the right side of this figure. And so those area is a kind of a very important port, and to transport of their foods and maybe their monies, people. And so there are so many very people in this riverfront area. So this is, and this bridge is called Tonobashi Bridge. But this is used from 1648, so about 400 years, and also renovated in 100 years ago. So this area is highly urbanized in more than 400 years ago. So this is a very important characteristic. And so there are so many cherry blossoms around here. So many people can enjoy those cherry blossom and in spring, and also this spot is a place for the fireworks display. So in each summer, many fireworks people can enjoy at the night time. So those two events are very famous for this city, and so means Otogawa is kind of an identity of this urban area. And yes, however, that's a kind of a history of Otogawa. So after 1980s, the economic growth, after the kind of economical growth, the people gradually became disconnected from the Otogawa because they have a video game, and also they have many things in their buildings, so they can't go outside and they don't enjoy the rivers. So this is a kind of one report, but in 2015, only 271 people pass through per day, and just 38 people stay per day in this Otogawa riverfront area. So we can say there are no people. I mean, at least a very, very small number of people are used in this riverfront area. So, but the turning point comes in 2012. So a new mayor was elected, and this mayor was born very nearby Otogawa, and he has a lot of memory of the very enjoy of this riverfront areas. So he thought that riverfront activation is necessary to reactivate the city center. It's because this area is very historical area of the Okazaki City, their castle. And this area is a kind of a main station area, so quite high economically important area. But so those two areas are disconnected because of this Otogawa area not activation. So the mayor thought that if this Otogawa riverfront area can be deactivated, then those two areas are reconnected and urban economics are more higher getting, and very people can enjoy more urban life here. So this is kind of his idea. So from 2014, space development, this is called Otogawa Riverfront Development Plan, was established, and many kind of park ground construction and new bridge, actually new pedestrian bridge was constructed also, and there are kind of a river base, so just a base camp of the river utilization. So there are so many renewal spaces, space renewals that happen. However, there are problems. There remain some problems. Who uses? Because the citizens didn't use those areas at all. So if we develop some spaces, the citizens will not use, or maybe, so we need to encourage those citizens to reconnect in these riverfront areas. So from 2016, the Otogawa project launched to promote citizen engagement. And the purpose is very, very simple, but to increase the number of people using the riverfront, I mean this area. So this is kind of a very, very beginning of the One River history, One River story. So from 2016, just a 5-year social experiment began in order to activate the waterfront space. It was called Otogawa Wonderland. And actually, in Japanese, we call it Otoga Wonderland. So that's a Japanese, I mean, culture, but we shorten the words. So Otoga Wonderland. And those are the picture of every picture is taken in the same area, Otogawa. So this is a ship and standard paddle boat and running and bicycle and camping and market and also the wedding event. So many things can be done in this area. So this is of course the experiment. So just people try to use and a new way, and they try to find a new kind of innovative way to reactivate this waterfront area. And of course, there are so many failures, of course. And I've heard that. Actually, I wasn't here at that time. Actually, as I mentioned, next topic, I joined the One River from 2022. So in this period, I was not here. However, I've heard that the 2016 and 17, there are not so many successful events. But after 18th and 19, 2020, then the Otogawa Wonderland, I mean, many people can enjoy, and they found kind of their way to enjoy the riverfront areas. So of course there are so many failures, but this 5 years period, they successfully found how to activate the waterfront and how to enjoy their own way. And this is also happened in the night time. Actually, this is the innovation because before this Otogawa Wonderland, the riverfront area is quite dangerous area. So not very clean, and actually many strangers are living. So many women, especially women and children, can't go in the night time. But from that, the many use of the nighttime riverfront are found. So like a fire, and there's a fireworks, of course. This fireworks is quite traditional one actually, and also this is moon watching I mean, this is star watching actually. So Okazaki is quite dense urban area, so there are not so many places to observe the star. So the star observation is one kind of innovative way to use nighttime Otogawa riverfront. And also, of course, night market is also happen. So anyway, there are so many diverse way to enjoy the riverfront area, and this is quite successful of riverfront activation. But I think the most important thing is not the successfully activate the riverfront area, but they realized so many things from through these activities. So people made kind of a discovery about the charm of Otogawa. I mean, the kind of a benefit and the characteristic of Otogawa. They discovered so many things, and so those discovery were not simply left as a kind of a personal invention. So they were documented and shared through those flyers and booklet, and so they just circulate among citizens. They tried to do that, and okay. So among those discoveries, I would like to introduce two major realization, and which I think were very important, and those discovery, those realization eventually led to emergence of the One River actually. So the first major realization was the Otogawa is not just an urban waterfront, but it is a living part of nature. I mean, there are so many living things, and so birds and species, and also fishes, trees, and so many butterflies. Yeah, there are so many living things. Of course, this is obvious, and we all know that. But many citizens are kind of forgot those facts. And from those 5 years and the Otogawa Wonderland, they rediscover those facts, and this is very important. So this is let me explain the one kind of a symbolic example. And as I mentioned, not mentioned actually, but in this slide, I put this text actually, and this is quite a unique characteristic again. But here, the river water were used as farming water and rice farming water. So in Japan, there are so many rice farmers, and rice farming is rice farming needed so many waters, and so there is quite huge weir, and the water are kind of stored in this river channel, and from here the water is intake to the waterways, and the farmer are used for the rice paddy, and so because of this weir, the water level of this river channel are changing in kind of seasonally. So in summer, so the rice paddy wants more water. So they close the weir and they storage the water in the river channel. So the water level got raised, so more higher than the winter. So in winter, it's more like a natural. So there are kind of sandbars and more shallow water flow. So this is kind of important characteristics because of this, in summer we can do so many activities on the water. I mean, stand-up paddleboat also, and the boats and swimming. Yeah, we can do that. But in winter, it is very difficult to do such kind of water-related activity. Of course, winter season is very cold, so that's one reason. But in winter, it is very difficult to do this kind of activities. So at first, the Otogawa Wonderland team of the Otogawa Wonderland, I mean, many citizens, they said that they keep the water level higher throughout the year. I mean, even in winter. Otherwise, our activities will be restricted, very restricted, and the activation is not can be successful. So this is kind of their idea. However, this in winter, the fishes go to the ocean. So I mean, the opening of the weir is not just a natural way, but there is a reason of the fish. I mean, there are so many fishes in this river, actually, and they need to go to ocean in winter season, and in spring, they are coming back. So this kind of habitat. So the water level cannot be raised in winter because without harming the fish ecosystem. And after they knew that, I mean, they heard that, they realized that, oh, Otogawa is not just for us. I mean, human. Yeah, it's very simple, but Otogawa is a living part of nature. They realize that. And so this is a very important kind of a realization, I think. And the second major realization was the urban area and upstream forest are connected within the Otogawa. So of course this is obvious also, but many citizens don't know that. I mean, don't aware that. So so this is also a very important one. For example, of course, urban flooding. Yeah, this is a picture of the flooding, actually. So we need to think about the forest condition, of course, because those water comes from forest, rain of forest. However, but those connections are not just water. And this slide shows kind of a very illustrative example called the Otogawa Museum Exhibition by One River. And in this exhibition, there are four topics, actually. And one is water. And they are kind of 3D model of the catchment, so topographical model. And they can understand the model. But there are three more corners, rice and woods and stones. And so actually, so the Otogawa catchment supply so many resources. So, and we urban people always forgets that. So in this exhibition, they try to reactivate those kind of a memory. So from 2021, One River activities expansion. And so from waterfront activation, this is very fast topic, but from that they try to kind of want to know more about the environment, and also they try to kind of a governing, I mean the managing of the catchment, I mean the river itself. So this kind of expansion process is happen from those two realization. So this is one example of this catchment stewardship. This is called the River Clean and Otogawa River Clean, and this is a monthly one. And so they are just cleaning up in the river channel. But so there are so many small fishes, and also there are so many sediments, and so the people can realize that the river are natural. So this river clean is also important for those realization. And this is kind of a unique one, but we have a monthly bridge sweeping event. And so this bridge is what I said in the very previous slide, but this is a very new bridge, new pedestrian bridge. And there are so many woods, and those woods actually comes from the upstream of the Otogawa River Basin. And so they can touch the river, I mean the woods from the upstream Otogawa, and they are cleaning, and they can smell of those woods, and so they can reconnect with those forests in this area. And also, this is a very important example where our stewardship activity has also moved beyond the waterfront in the city center, but to the catchment itself. So this rice paddy field is in the upstream area of Otogawa catchment. And there are so many abundant rice paddy, actually, because of the depopulation. So this program aims to restore some of those abundant rice paddies with participation of people from the downstream urban area. So actually, those children comes from the downstream side and urban area. And so they are doing rice farming, and they are learning so many things about nature and something. So this is one very important important example of the catchment stewardship. So actually, so one river is not just to try to reactivate Waterfront, but to promote catchment stewardship. I mean, the very new governance model. However, of course, those initiatives are still very small, quite small, limited in the number of the people involved. So the central question emerged for us is very simple, but how can foster those catchment stewardship? How can we foster those catchment stewardship? Actually, this photo taken in the Otogawa and kind of a winter swimming event in this Otogawa. So it's very cold. So he looks very cold actually. Those kind of experience of nature can foster those catchment stewardship. We believe so. However, it is very difficult to kind of examine the kind of quantitatively, and also we cannot, we didn't discuss such kind of evaluation of our progress. This is why we launched the Community Research Lab. The aim of our lab is to evaluate our activities and then programs in the to focus with the focus on the catchment stewardship. Okay, but at first I like to tell the kind of a story, kind of a spin-off story of this research lab. Actually, the community research lab was kind of the very beginning of this story comes from myself, I mean me. And I encountered the One River teams. So those two people as a kind of a team of the One River actually. And I just through a friend's introduction in February 2022. At that time, I was kind of a student. I was a doctoral student, and I'm looking for the field to do my PhD research. And I encountered this Otogawa. And what impressed me was they were not only working on the riverfront activation, but they were trying to cultivate catchment stewardship. I think it's impressive. So I decided naturally to do work together with One River from 2022. So I think 4 years, yeah. And we did so many things. The sediment survey, and also the history survey, the geographical survey. But most importantly, we did so many interviews and questionnaires to understand people's perception, because catchment stewardship comes from the perception and awareness. And so I did so many such very social survey in this field. But our question is not changed. How can we connect people and the catchment? This is what we want to we like to discuss. A little example of the result. But we conducted a kind of a questionnaire survey for 332 people. That's not very general citizens, but kind of friends of One River and the city government. So quite high, sophisticated people actually. And the results, the question near asked what is the value of the Otogawa catchment for you? So do you feel the recreational value or social events value as beauty or habitat and the resource supply, flood mitigations? And those numbers shows people who say yes. And very, very easy to say, but many people think yes, recreation, social events are very important. Of course, the beauty, scenery is very important, but the resource supply or flood mitigation, such kind of catchment system value, perceived, not perceived very well. Just 23% or maybe 28% in those sophisticated people, the friends of One River. So how can we help people recognize the Otogawa as a part of socio-ecological foundation of the catchment system? This is what we need to do. So one possible reason that makes people cannot recognize those barriers is gaps between human perception and catchment. So this is a questionnaire about people's familiar places within Otogawa. I just they draw the places they feel familiar, and I just calculated the percentage who answered here and here and here. So and it's very easy to say that many people think that here Otogawa here is very familiar. However, in upstream area, just 40% people are say it's familiar with them, and there are very huge gaps between those mid reach, and so of course there are so many water source forests and mountain springs, but they don't know that or they don't use that, and so these figures can compare of the perception. Such price perception between the voluntary activity members, so like a team, One River team, and more general citizens. But very obviously, to say the many people are many places are answered in those groups. I mean, the more engaged people think the many places are meaningful for them, but many citizens are just answered here. I mean, this is a more quite famous sightseeing spot, so they know that place. So they answered here, but only this area. And just many people think, oh yeah, of course, the urban center is very meaningful, but not so wide of their perception. So what are we doing in the lab recently is more to think those phenomena quantitatively. So research topic is the quantitative evaluation and goal setting of the One River programs. And we did just 3 things. One monthly online meeting, sharing just our ideas. And second one is a more public awareness survey, so like a questionnaire survey. And also that we need to make some framework of the evaluation. And also we developed new workshops to just enhance their kind of to mitigate their perception gaps or such, their enhance their stewardship, catchment stewardship. Our recent study is so more focusing on the quantitative analysis, and our public awareness survey shows quite remarkable numbers. So we conducted a survey through the market research company. So it's more like a general citizen perception, but 80%, more than 80% are know the Otogawa, what the Otogawa is. This is a percentage of the citizen in the Okazaki City. I mean, the people living in Okazaki City. However, so many people know about the Otogawa, and more than 60% of them were attended the Cherry Blossom Festival in Otogawa. So the very high potential to reconnect people and Otogawa actually in this field. I can say that. However, the percentage of those who participate in One River event, I mean, they had participated in One River event is just 3%. So very small. However, but 3% is not actually so small because there's 380,000 people are living in Okazaki. So 3% of them maybe, I mean, that's more like 1,000 of people or something. So it's not bad number actually, but compared to those festival, it's very small. And also, those who know the Otogawa supplies about half of the city's domestic water. I mean, the city water supply function of Otogawa is not well recognized. I mean, just 30% of people know that. So this is also the problem. So how to, and so we recently discussed how to set our goal quantitatively. I mean, of course, how to increase those numbers is also very important to discuss, I mean, to think. However, how to set our goal is also the problem. We cannot say, okay, the 50% people are know about this thing. I mean, the city is half of the city domestic water. Then the society is very good or something. So, but if we cannot set our goal, we cannot evaluate our kind of efforts. I mean, our initiatives. So this is also the problem we are kind of facing. But we are still discussing, and I'd like to ask you your ideas and or maybe your knowledges about this kind of problems. Okay, so this is the very final slide. I'm very sorry for talking so long, but of course we recently focusing on the more like a quantitative evaluation. However, of course, our belief is not quantitative, more qualitative. So living with rivers enrich our lives. That's our beliefs and our kind of findings from the 5 years social experiment of Otogawa Wonderland. And of course, we successfully did a little of this kind of a new culture and a new society to create new society. However, our efforts are very, very limited. So we need more colleagues and we need more time. However, our efforts to explore new lifestyle and cultures for living with Otogawa are still continuing. So please, I mean, help us and to think together. So this is why I applied this River Cities network, and I'm very excited to discuss with you guys in the future. So thank you so much. So this is my presentation.
Thank you very much, Yuta-san. It's really very inspiring, I must say.